sipping on my drink with my finger knitting. Hey everyone, welcome to Good Knit Kisses. I'm your host Kristen, and today I am showing you some finger knitting stuff. Sorry, I got my little cup over here. My other cup. Maybe I should cover up all my weird plants with this. My sister makes fun of me because she's like, man, it looks like you're the real plant mom. Like, this thing fits on here. This is a big old Yeti. Maybe I overstretched it for here. So everybody, welcome back to Good Knit Kisses, and I'm showing you some finger knitting today. And I'm sorry, I'm super behind this morning. Girls, men, everybody who's here, I overslept. So if you're joining me on the replay, thank you so much. You're right on time, and I'm right on time. But for those joining me live right now, so sorry. I had to make the member videos go live. So if you are, excuse me while I have a strand in my mouth. If you are a member of Good Knit Kisses and you have joined, thank you so much for sponsoring our channel in just a small way. It's such a big way to help just keep us going on. So we love you and enjoy you. And so we always drop the videos in advance. So on Friday mornings, we drop the videos so where you can see them immediately. The blog still comes out the next day. If you happen to be a level 2 member, you get the PDF for whatever pattern we do that we launch. We actually send it out for level 2s and above. You get the PDF that's ad free out on Friday mornings as well whenever we launch. So the blog will come out and the video will come out, tutorials always on Saturdays. And thank you so much for joining us. We did not have one last week, did take a break, but whenever we do launch, it is always on Saturdays, or usually. And I did go live and I kind of previewed some of this last week. So this is my cowl. You can call it a neck warmer. This is my cowl. It's reversible. It has 2 little seams here. I can flip it. Let's flip it and we'll have like one in the middle there, and it's just got kind of a cool little texture, but it's actually garter stitch made finger knitting. I'm just kind of wrapping these around here. That's not really how I finger knit, but anyway, this is my finger knitting project, and I even do a little sample on the video showing you how to make a little mug hug. So we may release the pattern for that later. And a blanket. Actually, I had a brilliant idea. I don't know if Joanne's jumped on here. Let me see if she's Joanne. Jo, are you on? Next time I call you, I'm gonna say that. I need some coffee this morning. But anyway, I had a fantastic finger knit blanket idea this morning. I'm like laying in bed, I'm enjoying it, and I didn't realize I had overslept as much as I did. I was like, that sounds fun. Oh, la, 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 la. Oh, look at the time. So anyway, that was my morning. How was yours? So anyway, we'll talk about that here in a moment. Let me jump in and say hello to all the lovelies coming in this morning. We've got Mary Lou. Hey girl. We've got Lori. Good morning. Good morning. We have Alicia. Hi everyone. Happy early Thanksgiving. Happy early Thanksgiving to you and all of our friends in the States and Americans who celebrate that. And of course, we have a national audience. So welcome. We are glad to have you. And we're thankful for you too. So come to our table. It's grand. We have Kristen and Joanne both overslept this morning. Joanne admits for me. I called her up. I'm like, girl, this thing isn't ready. Help me. I'm not ready. We're both in the same boat. So yeah, that was fun. She's like, why is she calling me? Hey, good morning, Angel. Oh, she's got all her cool emojis on. Yay. I love it. I love it. Those are our Good Knit Kisses emojis. If you see all those fun little balls of yarn with the different emotions. We've got Carol say it and give us some love. Hey, Carrie, I see you. We've got, lovely finger knit stuff. I'm really excited to do a little bit more finger knitting, and I think I really took our finger knitting to the upper level. This is more like adult type of finger knitting, like when I was a kid, I just did all the little, lines of things, and you can connect them and they look like a tube. They're actually just a stocking knit, that curls and stuff. And you're like, what do I do with this? And you try to get creative. And then, a few years back, I took that and I developed a technique to, it's not terribly like groundbreaking, but I did it and I applied a technique to finger knitting that I would do on loom and connected those panels. You have to do it a little bit different when you're doing finger knitting, and I have to like flip it and stuff to make it a little easier. And so it created this cool ribbed blanket. So if you like a ribbing look, a ribbed effect, we do have a video on that. So I think I put that down in this video description, and I will have it in the other description in the other video that comes out tomorrow on the 18th. It's actually my anniversary eve tomorrow, our 23rd anniversary. So anyway, yeah, so I had a whole blanket that way, and been wanting to do some more finger knitting projects recently, and I'm like, you know what, I need to do something with purling on the fingers, because we don't usually do that. I'm not sure I've seen anyone do that. I haven't, I don't think I like Googled and looked and see if anybody was doing that finger knitting wise, but I just was like, let's do a video. And then I'm like, well, why not make a pattern showing how to do it? Oh, and why not connect it and make a cowl? And then in the middle of the video, I was making a sample and I was like, well, I'm just going to make a bug hug. So the pattern that comes out actually shows how to make one that's even longer, or you can like double it over for extra thickness. You could make it even longer than what I say in the pattern too. That's fine. And I show I'm sorry, I say longer folded over. I mean, it's like the width of the project. And then you can make it longer to make it like, more stretched out, or like an infinity scarf, or whatever you want to do. So you could do that for sure. This is nice and fun. It's big and bulky. Here, let's go here. You can see what it looks like. So let me flip it again. You can see the seams I was talking about. So it does create these little seams. Look at that. It almost looks like it's stacked the way it does, because it's like a leaning decrease. It's like a leaning seam. So like this seam kind of leans here and this one leans here, and it's kind of like this little stack up, or you could turn it the other way and it looks like it kind of cascades down. So yeah, really fun. Let's see, Alicia. Yeah, I used to do finger knitting with cotton potholder bands in summer Bible school as a kid. Don't remember what I made. Really? Oh, I didn't even think about that. Did you cut the bands open and then connect them, or no? I guess. Oh, I guess you could. You could lay all of them like one around your finger and then add the next one. That's really fascinating. I have never seen that. I love learning new things. This is so fun. But yeah, so I had an idea for another blanket that would use this technique. So I'm going to have to keep that in my back pocket. Maybe that'll be something we do in the spring, because we also have what we're going to do planned out for the year. And we're going to be also teaching you how to use a kiss loom. If you guys, I've had people ask me about kiss looms recently, and well, over a long period of time I haven't. I just never really done a video on them. And so I'm going to show you guys that next week. And then we're going to do something else very soon. I'll give you a little preview today, talk about it. We are going to be updating more patterns. I don't know if y'all are wanting to do any little short Christmas projects, but pet bandanas were something that we did a bit back, and we did them on the knitting loom, and we knit them on the needles. You can use straight or circular, and I've had some people asking for crochet ones, so we'll actually be having crochet pet bandanas in 5 sizes. So even if you have like a mastiff, like a really big dog, or you have a little tiny little dog, maybe a Yorkie or something, we'll have all those sizes. So that will be coming up as well. We'll have another pot holder for the for the month. And then we're going to be releasing our pattern bundle, which is all the patterns that we did this year. So we'll be having a loom knit bundle, and then we usually do knit and crochet either together or separate. We'll see how that pans out. So that's a little quick sneak preview for you. So if you missed the patterns this year and you want to get a good deal, this is the time to do it, because the bundle is going to be everything that we've done, and it's discounted to be able to go into a bundle rather than buying them individually in our Etsy or Ravelry store. But we'll also have a very special 2-week special that you can get a big discount on it, a one-time only discount, and this would be a good time to do it. So you get all of the patterns for this year. And if you don't know, we bundle, the last several years we've been bundling our year of designs in a nice little bundle. Usually kind of at the front of the year, the beginning of the year. We decided to do this at the end. So yeah. So anyway, I hope you guys are going to enjoy that. So that's just a quick preview of what's happening this year. Also, I have been thinking about redoing some of my older videos that may be a little bit hard to see, kind of popular at the time. And I think it's time for a redo on some of those. So if you've had one that you really like, Kristen, I just don't think that was easy to see, but I really like that project, and you want me to do it again, will you start sending those requests in to me? I would love to know what those are, because I would love to take those videos that I've done before and make them better, also update the pattern. So yeah, that would be, I would love to revisit some of those. So that's just a quick thing. And yeah, so hey Cheryl, I see you jumping in. Happy Friday, welcome. It is good to see you. Missed whatever is up, but bundle to great gifts. Yeah, for sure. So today I was telling you, everyone, Cheryl, this is our fingernet cowl. This is working with the purl stitch on finger knitting. And so I am teaching how to do that. I showed it last week in our broadcast. I showed how to, this is just me just throwing some yarn on here, y'all. This is not real finger knitting right now. I showed how to do some of this last week in our live stream. But tomorrow on Saturday, the 18th, we will have this whole video tutorial, how to purl, and also how to connect the panels. So you're making garter stitch, knit and purl, and connecting them and making a whole project. In fact, the pattern is written out for the cowl in 2 sizes, also due in part to questions from last week. So I love your feedback, then I can incorporate stuff. But during the filming, I decided I'm going to make a little mug hug, a cup cozy. So there's no pattern released for it, but I talk about it in the video. So if you want to make a little sample for yourself, you can go right ahead. And at some other time, we'll probably release that just to have it out there. And then I've got all kinds of ideas for making some finger knit blankets. I was looking at some of my top videos and I realized there's a lot of people who really like finger knitting, and it's great because you don't need to have any tools, especially if you're like, I am on a budget, I really want to make something, and I have a ton of super bulky 6 yarn, or I was gifted a bunch of this yarn. What do I do with it? You could even do it with a 5-weight yarn. My hands are kind of big, so a 6 works really well for me, but a 5 might be just fine for you. So yeah, it's a really fun thing to do. Also in the holidays, it's nice, and you can teach it to a younger sibling, or if you're young, or teach it to your kids or grandkids, for them to make stuff. But I think adults would really enjoy this, and they work up really quickly, and really you just need a pair of scissors and maybe a tapestry needle for when you're done, so yeah, that's pretty much it. So I love it. Y'all ask away the questions. Let's see, we used came out great. I'm glad you like it, Cheryl. So Alicia was telling us about finger knitting when she was younger with cotton bands from the potholder loom. She said we use band wraps around our fingers, knit off, and add more band, like weaving and fingers knitting together. I'm gonna have to try this. This sounds really fascinating. I kind of like that. That's really cool. And I guess then maybe you would just use a crochet hook to finish it off in the end and bind off. Or you could use, I guess you could use a basic bind off, and then it comes all the way to the end, and then you loop it through, and you would get your own little pot holder. So that, really excited. That's really fascinating. Joanne's like seeing my mind, like, I'm like, that sounds cool. I'm thinking that would be cool to do. Like, if you did that, let's just go with her idea. Oh, I happen to have some right here. Let's just do this live. Let's see what Kristen does live on camera. I need a contrasting color. Let's go. Contrasting color. Let's do this. Here we go. Contrasting color. Put it on. Good morning, Shakita. Did I say that right? Okay, so we're gonna try this. All right. All right. We're gonna, how do we do this? Do we just twist it? Are you twisting it to cast it on, maybe? Twisting to cast on? I just twisted. Did anybody see how I did that? I don't know if that's right, Alicia. You tell me. But I'm gonna do like a weird twisty cast on thing. Twist, cast on, twist, cast on, twist, cast on. That seems right to me. Does that seem good to y'all? Okay. And then we're just gonna put this one on here. Knit off, knit off, knit off, knit off. Ooh. Let's put another one on. I have purple. All right. No. I have. Let's do that. This one. Come on, Kristen. You just use purple. Purple's on your fingers. You should use the other color. Yes, ma'am. Knit off. Knit off. Knit off. That knitted off. Oh my gosh, I'm so silly. All right, give me another one. Here we go. Oh no. Oh no. There we go. Fixed it. All right, here we go. But you know what? I'm wondering that you could do a purl every other, you could purl every other stitch. So yeah, this is kind of fascinating. I'm interested. I'm interested, and I'm going to try this. It would be hugely popular from all I see around the limb community. Yeah, I mean, that's really neat. I want to see a finished product in that. So I'm going to have to put that down and remind myself for later to mess with that. That is so interesting. Yeah, I'm interested. I want to see what the gauge would be and all the things. So my mind is like spinning with that. You got me so distracted, girl. I love it. Joanne's like, not one more project, Kristen. I keep her on her toes, y'all. Oh my gosh, Cheryl, can you finger knit a bucket hack? Let's see. It might actually work well, Cheryl, because the bucket hat actually would be cool because you could pick up the stitches along the brim. Or you, I'll think about that. But anyway. Joanne, she missed the first part. What? What? I am nothing if not persistent. We don't cut the band, we bind off without hook. Yeah, so it must be like, yeah, like regular finger knitting. You know, like a regular basic bind off. So yeah, anyway, that's really cool. So for you guys, hello, Melissa. I am here. I'm new. Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Well, I'll keep thinking, Kristen. Cheryl says, oh my gosh, girl, you're a cad. Okay, so I love it. So if you're just joining me, I'm wearing my new pattern that releases tomorrow on Saturday the 18th. This is the garter stitch cowl, and it's finger knit. So if you have ever finger knit before and you're like, it always looks the same. Okay, this is not how we do finger knitting, but I'm putting it on here for visual representation. But finger knitting is what made this. And why is it so wide and big? Well, that's because I connected it as I went. I made a little mug hug, and I've made a cowl, and you could make it much longer or you can make it wider depending upon how many panels you do. So this is one panel that's 4 stitches or 4 fingers across, and then it's connected as you make the second panel and you continue to go. And so this one is 4 panels, but you could do a 6 panel. I would do 2 panels at a time. So if you wanted it even bigger, you could double that up and do 8 panels, and then you could fold it over quite nicely, and it would be this high. So if you are in a much colder environment than I am. I'm in Texas. So if you're up a part of our northern friends, at least in North America, you definitely want a little bit more warmth. So you might want that. Because it is finger knit and the holes are looser. Let's just do this. So I can't really fully see through these, but it is looser. The other thing I talk about in the pattern, let me pull this off. Whoop. Whew. Okay, I'm a little warm today. I show you how to connect it in the round. So it's knit as a flat panel back and forth, and then we sew it together. So I show you how to sew it. But you could choose to weave in your tails and then buy some buttons that will fit through the little holes, and then you could just sew on a few down the line and then button it together. So that's another way to do it, which is great for, like, say if you do end up making a mug hug or something, then you could just button around the little the mug handle. So can you handle that? So punny. Anyway, I'm so glad you guys joined me this morning. I hope that you find something fun to work with your fingers. So you'll be learning how to make the purl stitch so you can apply that to other things and start working some patterns. Oh, fun question we had from Lori last week. I think it was Lori, asked me about the 10 stitch blanket, excuse me. The 10 stitch blanket. I did a video on the zippy loom, and I say that, the zippy. The zippy loom has 4 pegs on it, but we took the 10 peg, 10 stitch blanket and turned it into a 5 peg blanket. It was 5 pegs, and so the zippy loom is like bigger than a finger, okay? It's like thicker than mine, and you could apply that to finger knitting and maybe turn it into a 4 stitch. She was asking if you could. I think you could give it a shot. I'm not going to be trying a sample right now. That might be something we could do in the future. It sounds fun. So if you want to try it over the holiday, I recommend doing it. And now you know how to purl. I mean, purling, if you're a loom knitter, you already know how to purl on fingers. You just didn't really apply it yet. So you already have the skills to do it, and you could just watch the video and then be like, oh, I got this. I got it. You know, like, it's so fun to unlock a new thing and you're like, oh my gosh, I already have the skills to do that. Like, wow, you know? So, yeah, that's so fun. So, I hope that, y'all enjoy that. Good morning, Marlene. I see you jumping in. I'll see you in the VIP here soon because I'm probably about to wrap it up here. Do you knit or crochet? Yes, I do. I knit with needles. I was going to grab a needle. I don't have any right in front of me. I knit with needles. I knit on a knitting loom. I can now knit, well, I've always been able to, on my fingers. So 3 ways to knit. I also crochet with a hook, and I also do a bit of weaving on the weaving loom, like a potholder loom and a couple other little looms. So yeah, so a bit of all the things. I especially, my first love when I started the YouTube channel, I started showing people how to loom knitting on the knitting loom without needles. So, you know, so on pegs instead of needles, and it holds it for you, and it's great. It worked really well because I had carpal tunnel symptoms, and it was just really helpful. And I had been taught how to crochet when I was 7. And my aunt taught me, but she lived far away, and so didn't continue on with that. And then I taught myself how to finger knit. Someone suggested it to me, and then I just kind of was like, I saw them do it, and then I just kind of just took off on my own and just did it. And I was like, oh, I just saw someone do it one day. And then at home, I separately just figured it out on my own. So that was kind of fun. So anyway, yeah, later on in my adult life, I started loom knitting and then decided to teach others because I got so excited about it. And then I learned how to knit on my own and go back to crocheting. And so I just kind of flip around from different projects because they all fascinate me. And sometimes I'm in the mood for one or the other. And some people only do one, and that's okay. And they love it. And they're way more proficient at it than me because, or than I should say, proper English, Kristen, because they do it all the time. But I just kind of teach from where I know. So if you're new, that's me in a short nutshell there. So that's where I am. So I'm so glad to have you. Welcome, Carolyn. I see we have a new one. Hi, beautiful. I'm also new. I'm so glad that you're here. And I'm glad I did that little intro there before I even saw you say that. So welcome, welcome. Yeah. I honestly, I got it. I'll tell you a little bit more. When I started loom knitting online, or when I started loom knitting before I started teaching, it was actually through postpartum depression, and so it got me through. Honestly, I sent a prayer up and I said, Lord, I know I'm missing something and it's not you. What is it? And he's like, you're missing your creative. I needed to get my hands into something. There's something that happens when we connect our hands with doing something and our hearts, and then just something flows out of that. And I love, giving stuff to friends or family, making stuff to sell, it all. I love it. I love all the things. So, and I really enjoy teaching other people so they can do it. And it really gives me joy to see what people make. And they're like, you helped me learn this stitch. Like maybe I didn't help you do the whole blanket. Maybe it's not even my pattern, but I helped teach you how to make that stitch. Yay. It's like a little seed. I love seeing that grow. And anyway, that makes me happy. So I love hearing about those things. Also, if you are on Instagram and you have not followed me there, please do. And then if you make something, please be sure and tag me. I'm not always on there, but I love to see if I do get tagged. I try and respond, but yeah, give me a follow over there, and we do show y'all some more pictures of the things that we've launched and everything. And if you're not subscribed to our newsletter, please do that. It's GoodKnitKisses.com. So just like this channel name, and you can go click on the newsletter, and then you will get alerted when the pattern comes out. So tomorrow the pattern will come out. We always have patterns released. The blog is usually, I shouldn't say always, usually released on Saturday mornings, and the video as well. So we usually embed the video there, but it's also on YouTube. So if you're not subscribed to YouTube, you can do that. But I highly suggest subscribing to our newsletter because you'll know when the blog's live, and then you can see all the written stuff. And the written stuff is good because then if you don't need the video, you can just go and refer to the pattern. You're like, oh, I got this now. Of course, I would love for you to watch the video as much as you'd like, but I really want you to be able to have the pattern so you can start doing it. So the patterns are free at GoodKnitKisses, and then we do have ad-free versions on Ravelry and Etsy. So we will be having a bundle sale at the end of the year to wrap up and pull in all of the PDFs that we have launched this year, and they will all be available later on for the different techniques we do. The primary ones are loom knitting, finger knitting, loom knitting, needle knitting, and crochet. So anyway, that's about that. Healing happens upon that connection. Yes, Cheryl, I totally agree. Yes, it really helps heal us, especially when we're connected to others. So, Carol says, my sister and I took up arm knitting class, made a scarf. It was fun. Yes, arm knitting's so fun. Yeah, so other types of knitting. You can do an arm knitting. I get tired thinking of the arm knitting. I'm like, you can do it, but then you gotta put that thing down. it can get fatiguing, right? So, welcome, y'all. Kristen is the best. You're so sweet. Yeah, the arm knitting is really interesting. I love seeing the projects that the people do, the big arm knitting projects, like where they're like these giant ones. There's also the giant needles. Like, have y'all seen that? So anyway, all right, well, I'm gonna run. You guys have a great weekend. We'll see you tomorrow for the video launch. And we'll see you soon. And if I don't see you sooner, happy Thanksgiving to my friends in the States and beyond. Okay, bye everyone. Boop.